was an episode where I forgot what it was, but I was falling a lot in it, and I remember there was one where I actually had to fall. I had to keep kind of tripping over, and then I would fall like out of frame, which I did a lot. But in this particular episode, I kept tripping myself on my big toe, you know, just to get to make it right. And to this day, that toe still really hurt. It's not. So I've done a lot of Pilates and stuff because, like you know, big toe Pilates, you know, big toe traction. Big fan of mine. It's such a big device, which is a small little thing, you know? It makes it bigger, though.
I was allergic to the prosthetic during Buffy. During the beginning phases of it, I was the one they actually tested the makeup on, and I started becoming allergic to every remover that they would use. So they would take it off, and my face I'd have like burns on my face from the different removers. And at one point, it was so bad they removed it, and I was supposed to actually go and shoot as a normal face. And I remember Todd in the makeup department was like, you need to go down to set. And I went down to set, and my face was just bright red, my eyes were swollen, and they were like, we're going to send you home, we're going to actually drive you home. And they drove me home, and I didn't have to shoot the rest of the day, and then they picked me up and brought me back the next day, and the swelling had gone down. I was becoming allergic to every chemical that was being used. So they finally discovered that, you know, Simple Green, that actually they could use that to remove the prosthetic, and I wouldn't, like, my face wouldn't burn from it. So.
Somebody had that in the crowd today. Are you here? Two people wore vampire faces. They came and they asked you, James, how, you know, they had total rhythm.
Yeah. It's not pleasant.
When I go on a set, when there's a lot of fights, I go to the stunt crew and I go, okay, black belt, green belt, bulge. Which is to say, I can sell a punch and close up really well. It looks great. If you're taking me from the waist up, I can do the moves and it's all cool. But if you really have me full figure, my footwork is not black belt. It's really like it's a light green belt. And so what that means is, because I came from stage, so I was too prideful. I was like, we don't get stuntmen on stage. So it took me a long time to learn a lesson, and Angel and Buffy really taught me the lesson, let the stunts do their job. And so by the end of Angel, I really couldn't walk anymore. I was literally crawling out of my bed to the elevator in my building, down to my car, lift myself in the car, go to the chiropractor, and crawl across the street, hoping that no SUVs run me over. And literally, like 3 months, I would get chiropractic and acupuncture, and it got me back on my feet, and I'm fine now. But yeah, I really screwed myself up. Yeah.
This is why I like comedy.
Yeah.
I started when I was 17, and so I think I bounced, because I was a kamikaze, and I always wanted to do as much as possible, because I remember seeing the first episode, and I was pissed that I could see a wig flying around. It wasn't me, so I was like, Josh, come on, dude, let me get in there. Let me jump off the building, let me do this. And he actually started to let me do more than he should. But I used to get dinged up quite a bit, but I was young, and I bounced back. And more now today, now that I'm getting older, I'm like, I think I did some permanent damage back in the day. But it's such an adrenaline rush. I just love it. You just get, scenes where I'm like fighting 6 cops. That's always a dream of mine. You know?
I've done it before in real life, and it's really not that much fun.
No, it's like playing football, man. You don't necessarily go to the hospital right afterwards, but it does hurt.
My toe is getting better, though.
Okay, growing up, I was a huge fan of all of you guys, but I'd have to say I'm definitely Team Spike. way better than Twilight. So my question is for James. What did you do to get the accent down?
I watched a lot of Monty Python as a kid. Like if you notice in the very first episode, the accent's not very good. Like I come out and say, "You were there." What the hell is that? I want to be like George Lucas and go back and fix it. Tony Head came to me one day and he just goes, "We don't say it like that." Literally. And so for 3 to 6 months, we would sit down with my line and just break it down phonetically, and he would correct every little thing until I started to get it right, normally. But without Tony Head, I would still be going, "You were there." Don't remember. You were there.
You know, Tony lives a block away from me right now. Yeah, so you just had him there. Yeah, we have Can you not talk like that? It's so funny to hear Tony talk like an American. Like John Wayne.
No, such a good actor. Yeah.
I know that throughout the series of Buffy, a lot of you guys play both a good and a bad version of each of your characters. I'd like to ask all of you guys, what was your favorite side to play, the good or the evil side, and why, and what did you like about it?
When you play a villain, you lurk, which is very easy. They like you very well, they put great music behind you, and you just stand there. And you wait for the hero to come by, bam, and then you go home. That's it. But when you're playing a hero, you're always guilty about something, you're always running to try to save somebody, and it's hard work.
Darla was ever not evil, but she was bad and then really bad. Really, really bad evil. I mean, I love the flashback stuff. I love playing her in the period stuff. So that's when, I guess, when she was her worst, really.
It's fun to play bad. It's fun to play evil. I agree with James. You know, you get to do a bunch of bad stuff and you don't get in trouble. And you just, they play good music. Yeah,
You get great lines.
Yeah.
The only downfall is when you have kids, because they want you to win in the end of the episode. Like, I remember when I got Torchwood and I called my son, I was like, "Dude, man, I got a samurai sword, I got 2 guns, I got this wristwatch, I can travel through time, man." And he goes, "Dad, do you win?" Like, at the end of the episode, you always lose. Do you win or lose this time? Well, you know, I lose. Oh, what else do you get?
You gotta have a neck orgy. I mean, that's not bad. I was bad once, and I had a neck orgy with fucking Charisma and Allison. So if you didn't get it, I was only bad one time on the show. I had a threesome on a neck.
So hi, this question's for
You guys
Nick.
remember when Xander was a vampire? I did. Fight somebody. What? Oh, hyena, that's right, I ate the school mascot. And I take that back, you're right, I was a hyena. Walking in slow motion, I love that. Like, you kind of move a little slower, it's awesome. And you move wider, you know, you're elongated.
Hi, this question's for Nick. There's an episode where there's 2 copies of you on the screen at the same time. And I was wondering if there was any talk about getting your twin involved in that one.
Well, he actually, you know, I'm actually, I'm a quintuplet. So, Kelly looks the most like. No, Kelly was whenever it was the 2 of us on screen, it was Kelly. Yeah, then people always say, so which one were you, the schlubby one, or were you the cool one? And I'm like, actually, I played both parts. You know, I just changed my clothes a lot. And they're like, oh really? Like, I thought Kelly was the cool one, and you were like, no. Well, and then people get really confused to where it's like, you know, when they knew that Kelly was on the show, they start to think that maybe he played Xander half the time and I played him the other.
Just tell people I was the one who was talking.
Yeah, but then anything I've done, it's like, well, was that really you, or did Kelly do that? You know, and I'm like, no, guys, he was literally in the, you know, maybe 5 seconds of the show. I love our brother to death, but I've done some decent work.